Do you actually know the mystery behind these 6 unique artifacts, how to find them and how to recharge their effects? This video has 3 parts for each artifact. First, we read the description. Second, we find them. Third, I will reveal the hidden facts behind each one. What are you waiting for? Let's go. So we start with the Wierd ball. This artifact is the easiest one to obtain throughout the video, and you can get it right off the bat. As you can see, the location for this artifact is east of Zelicia, named Bulba. What this artifact do? As you can see in the description, it says it's looked like a scurvy children ball. While it's equipped, it helps you recover quicker, especially in combat. It almost seems like the toy is absorbing the impact. Okay, first we grab the artifact, then I will explain what it does actually, because there's a downside for this one, and I will explain it for you. To obtain this artifact, here's what you need to do. You'll notice the wavering bubble getting bigger, exploding and then shrinking again. You want to move between the cover it provides. Follow along with me. First, sit and wait for the wavering bubble to grow big and explode. Once it does, run behind the first cover and stay there. Wait again for the bubble to grow and explode before making your next move. Next, run to the next cover and repeat the process. Wait for the explosion. Take the artifact and hide again. Be careful, because if you don't take cover, the bubble can kill you, especially if there's nothing on your path to protect you. After grabbing the artifact, run behind the stone like I did. Sit there and wait for the bubble to explode once more. Once you hear the sound of the explosion, start running out. The tricky part is that if you move too fast, it might pull you back in like it did to me. So, run and jump as fast as you can. It might still pull you slightly, but if you do it right, you'll make it out safely. Okay, so what this artifact do? Whenever you take damage, either it's melee, range attacks or even from anomalies, it will absorb some of the damage. But there's a downside to this artifact. It gains weight up to 5 kg when you take damage. This means the artifact weight increases whenever you hit, and once you stop the damage source, it will go back to its normal weight. Weight starts at 0.5 kg and goes up to 5 kg. If you stop taking damage, it will start resetting to its default value. And not only that, but the artifact stops absorbing damage when it reaches its maximum weight, so it means you take normal damage after that. Maybe now you'll figure out why you go overweight randomly. So next on the list is the Wierd flower. To find this one, you need to go northwest of Zelicia to this location. There, you'll see all these red flowers. This artifact is one of the most unique ones on the list, because its effect isn't shown. You can only feel it by exploring the map, and I will tell you what I mean. So, what does this artifact actually do? As you can see in the description, it says, if you sleep with this flower on your belt, its fragrance will mask your scent, though the effect diminishes over time. Before we get into what it actually does, let's first grab it and then I will explain. First, make sure to grab a few energy drinks, as the field makes you sleepy and you don't want to fall asleep. Then, find this house, as you can see, with that sign on it. From there, you'll want to start running the same path I take. As you can see, you'll start feeling sleepy in the field and you really don't want to fall asleep, but just keep going. If needed, drink an energy drink. The spot for this artifact is always the same. It's blue and stands out among all the red flowers. But it's easy to miss. Once we grabbed it, we'll start running back to our starting position. Don't forget to drink energy drinks if needed. So, what does this artifact do? Mutant in the game can smell your presence in the area, and they have a detection radius. The Wierd flower decreases this radius. But there's a downside. You need to sleep to recharge its effect. As the description explained, it loses its effect over time, right? To recharge the effect, you have to sleep with the artifact attached to your belt. It recovers its effect. However, I don't believe that the Wierd flower is a particularly useful item. The problem is that there aren't many places where Skiff can sleep. I mean, we cannot find places, right? So the usefulness of this artifact is diminished. Next on the list is the Wierd nut. To find it, you need to head to the cooling tower, which is marked here on the map. The description of this unique artifact reads, one of the legendary altered items often mentioned in harsh tones by stalkers around the campfire, eerily called to the touch. This unusual nut promotes rapid blood coagulation when attached to your belt, though the wounds themselves take longer to heal. What does that actually mean? Before we dive into its effect, let's first locate it and then I will explain. Obtaining this artifact isn't too difficult, but it does require some jumping skills. Before heading out, make sure to bring some energy drinks and detach the Wierd bottle from your belt. I will explain why when we discuss the Wierd bottle later. As you can see, the fiery tornado in this area makes movement tricky. When it spreads, the heat makes the area nearly impassable, dealing significant damage if you step into it. So, here's the plan. Wait for the tornado to shrink. Once it does, start climbing the ladders. After reaching the top of the ladder, move to the left and jump over the gaps. Be careful here or you may just fall and die. When you reach the next section, wait again. The tornado has a 1-minute cooldown before it spreads again. Make a quick save here to avoid losing progress. Once the tornado shrinks, take the path I take. I'm showing you. Be cautious not to fall, as it's easy to miss your footing. Finally, jump to the location of the artifact, grab it, then jump down and leave the area. So what does this artifact actually do? As the description states, this artifact stops bleeding. When you start bleeding, simply take cover and within 4 to 5 seconds, the artifact will stop the effect. However, there is a downside. It reduces the effectiveness of medkits and bandages. This means healing takes longer and is less effective overall. Despite the drawback, the Wierd knot is extremely useful, especially in the late game when you're more likely to encounter enemies and anomalies that cause bleeding. Some players even combine it with other artifacts like the hypercube to create nearly unkillable build. This artifact is a solid choice for any stage of the game, but it shines brightest in the later stage when survivals become more challenging. The next artifact that we're going to talk about is the creepiest one on the list, and it's confusing too. It can cause weird effect when you use it, and as the description says, although the pot is empty, steam is always wafting from beneath its lid. This item helps to allay one's thirst and hunger, but be careful, the zone's gift can be unpredictable. I mean, it's always the same with the zone, it never gives us anything for free. So, let's see how to find it, and then I will tell you what it does. To find this one, you need to go to a burnt forest here on the map. Then zoom in until you see this cabin with a question mark on it. It depends if you've already been there. The next thing you want to do is walk into it, and when you get in, you're gonna see a bloodsucker. It doesn't matter, you don't need to kill him. When you find this basement, as you can see, it's already blocked. So you want to try to run out of the mist, and then you're gonna find yourself in the same spot, and the basement is still the same. When you go inside the house, doors are locked, so go ahead and run toward the mist again. But this time, there is a difference. So, run down to the basement and turn on the flashlight. When you find this dead body, look for a key around him, and there it is. There is no loot or any stash in the cave, so you want to find this entrance to the house. After you get in, shoot the log and loot the foods. There's nothing to loot, only food. So, go through the open door and unlock this door, with the key you already found. There's nothing in the room to jump on to reach the roof, so get out of the house and run toward the mist once more. This time you want to go inside the house and open the same door, and you will see these boxes. Jump on them and find your way to the roof. These boxes are blocking the way, so start breaking them and jump in. Then you're gonna find the pot there. Take it, loot the room, and open the door to get out. Don't worry, this is the last time you need to run toward the mist. This time it's different, and you're out. So why should we take the risk to find this one? Okay, I will tell you. This artifact is the weirdest one on the list. It can help with hunger and thirst, but at the same time, it causes hallucination and side damage. Whenever you attach this artifact to your build, when you eat or drink something, you'll see different side effects. It may sometimes make food heal you even more, but at the end of the day, I don't see any reason to use it at this point, unless they change it with upcoming updates. This one is a bit tricky. As you may already know in the description for this item, it says, as long as the bolt is charged and secured to your belt, it reduces damage from anomalies. It takes a lot of anomalous energy to recharge, though far beyond what regular anomalies can offer. But before I talk about it, let's find it first. To grab this one, you need to go west of Yaniv. Here, this is the only big POI in the west of Yaniv, and when you get there, you can see this big tornado. But try to approach it the same way I do, or you might miss the artifact. As we get closer to the tornado, there's a guy inside the tornado right now. While you're getting closer, it will spit him out at any second, so you want to keep walking slowly toward the tornado. Before the latest patch, there was this bug where you might find the body outside the gate, but after the update, they changed it. And now, you can find the guy inside the POI, so just keep waiting here a little bit, then here it is. Now, loot the PDA. This one is different from any other PDA in the game. After you take it, run forward until you see that big red gate. Then you want to get inside and loot all the energy drinks you need for this run. Before I tell you what to do next, I have to say that for some people, the dead body is never there. If that happens, you need to load your older saves and then run to this area. After we grabbed all the energy drinks, we want to wait for the tornado to pass by the garage. You can either go inside the eye of the storm or do what I do. Using this method, you don't need to run at all. If you run, it hits you. So, take it slow, just follow the tornado and move slowly while hugging the wall of the tornado. You don't need to run. As soon as you see this structure, you want to be fast to reach the top of it. Then, look at your right, it's there, in the store. You need to spam your interact key as it is F on PC. Then you can grab it. Since you almost caged inside the structure, the storm can't take you with it. Just run out, and after you take the damage, heal up, and that's it. Now it's time to answer what this artifact does. The Wierd Bolt artifact offers a significant amount of damage reduction, almost up to 70% from all types of anomalies. If you have it on your build, you can go through anomalies and feel safe. But don't forget, it has 3 charges only. Once it loses all its charges, it will stop glowing. That means instead of absorbing damage, it will now cause you to lose almost 2x stamina as a penalty. I will tell you how you can recharge it and the best way to use it, but if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's a big help for my small channel and I really appreciate your support. Okay, let's get back to it. When to use it and how to recharge it. For recharging this piece of metal, you need emission to happen. Then you either have the bolt on your belt or in your backpack and take damage from the emission, or there is another way to recharge it. But I don't recommend it. In this method, you leave the bolt outside. During an emission, the thunder will hit it and it will recharge. However, this is risky because you might lose it. So, since it's really hard to recharge, I suggest keeping it in your backpack and only using it when needed. Okay, let's grab the last artifact, Wierd Bottle. I can say this one is the hardest to get because it can be really hard to find sometimes. Since I read the description for each artifact first and then show you how to find it, we're going to do the same for the Wierd Bottle too. As the description says, you can't drink this stuff, but strap it to your belt and radiation won't bother you as much. It makes moving around a bit smoother too, although you might go a little weak in knees from time to time. Before I actually show how you find it, I have to mention the reason why I detached it from my belt when I was trying to grab the Wierd knot with all the jumps. This is because it can actually affect your jumping height, so that was the reason since we had to do a lot of jumping, right? Okay, let's see where to find the Wierd Bottle, and then I'll tell you everything I know about it. First of all, you need to be here at night, not during the day, or you cannot find it. Secondly, you want to start from the exact spot I'm starting in the same line with this POI that you see here. This artifact is located in Zaytan, in the spot I'm showing you. As you can see, if I get here during the day, there's nothing, so you won't be able to find it. Let's go back to our spot and wait until night. Don't forget, it should be after 9 PM for the glowy green orbs to show up. After they spawn, as you can see, there are some static green orbs. It usually spawns under one of those static orbs. So after we locate some of them, we start running toward them. As you can see, you lose access to your compass and can't see where you're going. Now we start checking the area. But be careful, these orbs can't cause serious damage if they hit you. We're going to keep searching. I can say many people find it on their first try, but it may take you more than a few tries to find it. And the reason is, there is no exact location for it. It can even be somewhere without any orb on top of it. After you grab it, you want to start running in any direction to get out. So what does this artifact do? This one has 2 beneficial effects and only 1 downside. It can increase the amount of weight you can carry up to 40 kg, give you around 20 to 30% radiation protection, and it can stack up with the other artifacts in the same category. This is huge. The only downside is that you may see your screen wobbling sometimes, like when you're drunk. Finally, I share which my favorite artifact is and why. Now let's talk about the ranking for this artifact. In this list, I say the best artifact above all is the Wierd bottle, since it has more upsides than downsides. Next is the Wierd ball, as its downside is only 5 kg of weight at max, and if you have Wierd bottle attached to your belt, it offsets this completely by increasing your carry weight up to 40 kg, right? Then I like the Wierd flower because it has 0 downside when it's fully charged. The rest of them can be either useless or situationally useful. Let me know what you think about unique artifacts in the Stalker 2, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. All support is more than welcome. Love you guys and peace out.